Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of Frail Conversations. Today, I want to talk about the gentleman's curve and understand that in this conversation, a lot of this is going to be things that I've had to come to terms with myself. And in coming to terms with these things, it kind of gave me a different insight and a better understanding of how to effectively curve a woman you may not be interested in, how to effectively show that without, just being dismissive or just, ghosting and shit like that. Um, I've been guilty of, ghosting, but it wouldn't necessarily, I'm not going to say, I'm going to justify it, but it's still no justification. Let me say that. Like, when it comes from dealing with extremes, to where you go from one aspect of, your actions being disrespectful towards women to, when you're trying to have respectful actions, you try to leave it in a situation where you connect to their feelings being hurt and that not being what you're going for. So a lot of times you don't really do the shit. So sometimes it'll be, subtle ways where it'll be like, nah, this ain't that. You feel what I'm saying? Because you throwing the signs out like, nah, this ain't what it is. But you feel what I'm saying? And then you might even be communicating it a little bit, but they just not seeing it. You feel me? Because some women need you to actually say, I'm not interested in you. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you're cool as a friend, or this is whatever the case may be, and leave it at that. Some women need that. You feel me? And we can't just assume that it's as simple as, all right, man, I just, I kind of I don't flirt with her. I don't do no shit like that. But it's like, sometimes just being in the picture is enough for some women to get the feeling that, hey, you like me. You feel what I'm saying? And a major piece of that is, effective communication, being able to truly articulate your thoughts, and this is going to sound real cold, but you got to learn to stop trying to spare a woman's feelings. They grown. You feel me? We got to stop trying to do that. Like, we can't get so caught up in our pseudo respect for women. And I'm saying pseudo respect because it's still respect in a sense, but using that as, I respect women, I love women in this. So I'm not like, you're going to make people uncomfortable in life. Get over it. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to do things in life that people aren't going to like. Fuck it. I know a lot of times you don't want to end on bad notes with people. You don't want to end on in bad blood with motherfuckers. But when it comes to relationships, when it comes to dealing with certain things, you got to be true and honest, even if it's going to hurt. You feel me? Even if it's going to hurt. And I wanted to have this conversation because, like I said, these are things I had to come to terms with, and these are the things that I'm watching a lot of us do, because it's easy. It's a lot easier to do to, initially make the stance, though. This is what we're doing. And then it's like, certain things happen. Now, you can't control how women respond. You can't, to anything that you do. You feel what I'm saying? And some people will assume, a lot of people can assume one thing, based off of actions being a certain way and mindset being a certain way. But you gotta be, you gotta get to a point where we can transcend that point to where it's like, okay, no more hints. No more hints. I gotta be honest with you. Because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The sisters will be honest with you. If she's not interested, if she don't want you, if, you know what I mean, she's going to tell you, okay, dad, this ain't it. We got to start being in that position too. We got to start being comfortable enough to do that too. And I get it a lot of time. Well, women don't respond the same way. Like, I've heard stories about this dude, he wasn't interested in this woman after 3 months. She killed him 3 months later. Like, I know we get the rap. I know a lot of dudes do shit to women and, get the rap for rejection. And, we as men have to deal with shit when we reject women too, that we don't talk about. You feel what I'm saying? Shit gets crazy. But I want to talk about that because, I feel like this is an important topic. This is a very important topic. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. And be sure to follow me on Instagram _just_scene_. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all the people who tip, sponsor, and donate to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. I thank you so much. To all who would like to tip and donate to the sponsor, donate and sponsor the podcast, you can do so by clicking the description in your podcast, not necessarily the episode, but the podcast itself. And that's it for that. And that's that for this. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into So Frail Conversations, the Gentleman's Curve. Oh, yeah. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. And without further ado, let's dive straight into it. So first, let's go ahead and get the hard shit out of the way. My brothers, we got to grow up. And we got to be able to learn how to effectively and healthily communicate. If we understand that we're involving ourselves with women who we can't effectively and healthily communicate with, we have to look at something within us too. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of this comes from reflection, but then also understanding. You feel what I'm saying? Understanding the gamut of the things that we've gotten involved with and shit like that. You dig what I'm saying? So when it comes to this reality of, quote unquote curve, like we have made curving such a negative thing. You feel what I'm saying? That it's hard to do and it's uncomfortable to do. And sometimes it's hard to even do because you were never in the space that the same space that the person was in. You dig what I'm saying? You were never in that space. So in your part, you're setting up a reality for maybe a platonic friendship while this person may be romantically attracted to you. You feel what I'm saying? And you may be saying, okay, you might have the potential, but I'm not right there yet. So I'm not going to do the very things that, you think you're doing. And, you don't know how someone else is perceiving a situation until you communicate that. And you truly understand. Effective communication is very cool. You have to be mindful of, the way in which you're connecting. We live in such a instantaneous and quote unquote microwavable society now that it's understood that the moment I reach out to connect with you, that I shoot everything is about a shot. Nothing is about friendship. Nothing is about the levels to getting to that point. It's like, bam, I shot my shot. Everything in between doesn't count anymore. Let's work on a relationship. Like a relationship that's not necessarily, not a platonic relationship. Let's work on an intimate and romantic relationship. Nothing is platonic anymore. That's scary about this world, but it's real because nothing is platonic anymore. You dig what I'm saying? And we now cross a barrier. We can't even be friends with the opposite. I don't know if I should say gender or sex at this point, because motherfuckers is going to kill me on that shit. But anyway, it's hard to be true platonic friends, with the opposite sex. And when people's motives are not like yours, when people's intentions are different from yours, you won't know until you're moving a certain way. So when it comes to the quote unquote gentleman's curve, it's often overlooked because it's done right, but it's missed. You feel what I'm saying? Because the gentleman's curve can stop you from trying to see a romantic connection with me, but still want to have that platonic shit. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of women, I ain't gonna say a lot because I don't know if this is a lot, because I can say there's a lot of women that I've dealt with in regards to this, but there's there are women, I'll say that. There are women who have a mentality of if we can't be on that level, I don't even want to be friends with you. Because they can't be friends with you. Because that was never their intention to be friends. Like I always get confused by women who say they want to marry their best friend, but they can't date their friends. They don't even realize what they program their minds for. It's a lot of people that do that. I couldn't fuck with one of my friends, but I want to marry my best friend. Mm. How? Because you have to get to that friendship level. But see, we skip the friendship, jump into an intimate relationship, and then try to be friends after the intimacy, after the romance. Like you can't. It's too late at that point. You have to see if you can be romantic with the friend. No, none of us know how to do that. None of us are able to do that. So the gentleman's curve is, when it comes into like, okay, the gentleman's curve is tricky because it's like, I don't want that with you, but I can be the friend. But it's like, if they're already entwined with you in their mind, you're not going to be able to have a friendship. So it's hard to actually curve a woman you want to be friends with because you can't be with her. Because it's like, if I tell her this shit, she's not going to want to fuck with me anymore. I know she's not going to fuck with me anymore, but I like her as a friend. I like the friendship that I have. I really do. I really value the friendship that I developed with her, but I know I'm not going to be able to do this. Women will tell you that. Oh, we can be friends after. No, they can't. Like they're not. If they have been intimately, if they have already intimately programmed their mind to say, I fucks with this dude. I want this dude for, my husband and all of this shit. In their mind, that's set. In your mind, it's like, I want to be your friend. And if that happens and it's able to develop out of that shit, then so be it. But they don't give you a chance for that oftentimes. And if you're not given that chance, you feel what I'm saying? You're like, man, I don't want to fuck up this friendship, so I'm just not gonna say nothing. I'll throw hints, throw little curves and shit, but it's like I won't vocalize it because I know the friendship with it. And that is something we have to stop doing. If it comes to terms where you gotta lose the friendship, you gotta lose it. You just gotta lose it. You gotta dead it. There's no way you can, because that creates a conflict of interest for yourself. That creates a reality within you where you're like, I just can't do it. And then now it's going to be awkward because it's like this person never had the capacity or even the intention to be your friend. They wanted to be something more. And they never wanted to be your friend first. You dig what I'm saying? Because then the friendship gets it gets blurred. It gets blurred and it gets hard to deal with. And you have those situations where you can, end up being friends after, what I'm saying, the curve is like, nah, I don't. We live in such a society, especially with our sisters, where it's very, very hard to be able to deal with that side because it's like she now feels unwanted. That wasn't my intention. I wasn't trying to make her feel unwanted. You feel me? Like I've had situations like it's crazy because I had the moment where I was real stern at one point in time in the shit, and I had to soften up. I had to soften up in more recent years because I would be like, nah, I'm not into it like that. And then the response that I would get would be, well, I know I'm a good woman. I know I'm this. I never said you weren't. I said, we're not gonna work romantically. We can't be friends because this hurts me. This is a problem for me. How did it hurt you? I wasn't into you like that. You feel me? I wanted to just be friends. Like I wanted us to build a friendship first. You jumped the gun. It wasn't on me. So over time, it's like I could not, I had reached a point where I seen, you feel me? Like I've seen some shit trying to explain to women that like, yo, I'm not into you. You feel me? I've seen some shit. So it reached a point where it's like that kept me from like, look, man, all right, I just hope you get the hint. I can admit I'm fucked up for that. I did some fucked up. That was fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just not like I ain't gonna say not gave a fuck, but I should have kept that same standard. But when your track record, when you see the tears of a woman, when you see where a woman can go because you're telling like, you know what I mean? I don't want you to feel like you're not wanted. I don't want you to feel like, you know what I mean? A lot of us gotta eat shit like that. A lot of us as men, we really eat shit like that. And, you know, it's like we hear this phrase all the time. You know, you can be honest. It's just how you say it. How I give my truth is how I give my truth. If it doesn't matter, like it sounds good. It sounds good on paper. It sounds good to say, well, you can be honest with me. I can take no, you can't. Because now it's one thing to say, but it's another thing to actually be in that experience and see it happening. And they're like, they can't take it. And I'm not saying all women. That's not what I'm saying. But if you have the track record personally where you're like, every time I try to be honest and tell the truth, and it's not like no, excuse me, no explosive truth, like, no, I don't want you. You ain't this, that, the third. It's just like, no, I don't think we can go. What do you mean? Well, I'm this, that, and the third. Like, you feel me? I've had women where it's like, yo, okay, we'll meet, link up, and we'll talk and shit, and then it's be like, this ain't gonna work. And then I would sit there and explain it to them how it's like, oh, so you're trying to say I'm not trying to say shit. Like I'm telling you the reasons why I know that this is not gonna work. This is not compatible. It doesn't do what I needed to do, you know, as far as me as a person. But I can't tell you that. You feel me? Because in that same breath, the backlash that I received, a lot of brothers receive this shit too. You feel me? It comes that humbling shit. Like, you know how they always say, and I don't think we tell our side of the story enough. I don't think we tell our experience enough. I ain't gonna say our side of the story. I don't think we tell our experience enough. Where women say, okay, men can't handle rejection. There's a lot of women who can't handle that shit either. And we peep that shit. You feel me? We peep that shit. A lot of time, this is why we don't say shit. This is why we hint. And you know what I'm saying? We, for the same reasons why y'all have to move certain ways because men can't take rejection, we got to do the same shit. We got to do the same shit. Why can't we get the pass for that? Why can't we get the look to say, okay, you justified in how you respond? You feel me? Because where women are being approached by volatile men, the men that ain't shit and all of this shit, like that's okay, they're gonna respond a certain way. But when you're approached, when you're involving yourself with women who are in the space where they always felt like they was the shit, always felt like they was at a certain capacity, now they're realizing they can't keep up, that changes the game. Because now they're trying to humble you. You feel me? They're trying to humble you. And it's like, how do you respond to that? Other than just like, okay, look, yo, I don't think, you know what I mean? Like you can't say it because now they're like, oh, what you mean? What you trying to say? Like when it got the worst for me, when I really shut down and stopped like being on some, yo, I'm gonna tell her the truth straight like that. You feel me? I can be blunt. I can be very blunt in the shit that I say, but I stopped doing that when this woman, it's like, I told her, I said, look, I don't want to cross this line until we know, because, you know, the online dating shit, as an entrepreneur, online dating work, long distance relationships work. You feel me? Because it was like, I'm building this shit. We ain't got to worry about distracting each other. They needed that physical shit. You feel me? And I told them, I'm not deviating from my shit. I'm not to rush into some shit that I don't even know this motherfucker. Like, yo, we're going to take our time. And then when we link, we link. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, when I physically feel your essence, I can tell. So this particular woman, we're vibing and everything like that. And I'm noticing how she's, you know, this is why I always say, this is one of the reasons why I always say, you got to make me like you back. I don't give a fuck how much I have already done the work to make you like me. That doesn't default me to liking you. You feel me? I've done my part. Like I've done what I was supposed to do. And that's one of the gifts and the curse of, you know what I'm saying, being on, social media and being so open with myself. I ain't got shit to hide. You feel me? I ain't got shit to hide about myself. You feel me? But a lot of people think that, but because of the shit that I do reveal, like that's really just the tip of the iceberg. A lot of motherfuckers feel like they know me. You feel what I'm saying? So they'll feel like they don't have to get to know me. They start using my lingo. They start saying the shit that I said. You don't even know what that came from. You feel me? But it's like when that happened, it's like dealing with this woman was like, okay, we got to meet. I got to see you in person because you can't front your energy. You can't fake your energy. I don't give a fuck. You can't fake it. You can use my lingo. You can say you on the same page as me. You can do all that shit, but you can't fake your energy, and you can't hide your energy long. Who you really are is going to start to come out. You feel what I'm saying? So this particular I actually met this person, and it's like, I don't feel you. I don't feel you, and I didn't necessarily say I don't feel you, but I was like, you know what? This ain't. I don't think this can. We can't have a. It's not going to be a relationship. We're in two different mental, spiritual spaces. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And the aftermath of that was like, it never bothered me, but it's like, yo, you are a very broken person. And I'm seeing your brokenness on display right now. You feel me? Like after I told her that, she goes back. I'm like, yo, we can still be friends. We can kick it or whatever the case may be. And she was like, she broke down and cried in front of me and did all that. Well, why can't I get it right? I don't know why you can't get it right. I can't answer that shit for you. But I just know that we're not gonna work. Like there's it's not there. It's not there. I know it's not there. I'm not trying to play you or be funny or anything like that. It's not there. You feel what I'm saying? And then it's like just different levels of life as far as, experience and shit. And you know what I mean? It wasn't working. You feel me? And I told the truth. Straight like that. This person gets on a flight, she goes back to where she was at. Her first day back, she sends me a text message that says, she just can't get over. She said she tried fucking somebody else and she just can't get over it. She said, oops, my bad. That was for my friend. I say, yo, I'm glad I made that choice because I can feel that your energy wasn't stable. You feel me? So I was like, all right, I'm trying to, all right. So I'm like, she said, oh, my bad. That was meant for my friend. I didn't mean to. No, come on. This ain't, me and her friend's name didn't even start the same. My name started with an R. I think her friend's name started with K or some shit like that. When you send messages like that and you type them out, you have to send them in a thread. This ain't no accidental shit that you can say happened like when we were 16 years old with flip phones. No, we have smartphones with threads. You opened up the thread to send me that shit. The fuck? That shit ain't no accident. I was like, all right, yo, get some help, yo. After that, she went on a spree. When I say she made like 8 Instagram pages with my name, calling me a devil worshiper, calling me the fuck boy, calling me so many different other things. I'm like, and then it was so bad that when she created these pages, she went and followed some of my followers and then just was in their DMs talking crazy. And it was like, we know that ain't you. They was like, what the fuck did you do to her? I said, I don't know. I told her the truth. I told her we couldn't work. I said, I tell my side of the story. I'll be honest. I didn't fuck. You feel me? But I got some head. That was about 2015, 16. I didn't fuck, but I got some head. But at the same time, in my defense, this was one of the only times that in the early stages that I broke my celibacy. Because I didn't think fucking, because I was like, I'm not fucking, but I told her I was celibate. I told her I'm not crossing the line and everything like that. So, at the time, I lived in a studio apartment. I had one bed. I'm not going to put her on the floor. Fuck. And I'm not giving up my bed. So We'll share. Now everything is cool at first. No touching. It's just like, damn, I was good. She decides what's off limits. You making a conscious decision to do this. You feel me? So she ended up giving me some brain and shit. So I'm gonna tell the truth. Like I didn't stop her. I didn't stop her. Like not many. I don't celebrate or not. Not many men can stop a woman with a dick with your dick already in the mouth. Like you can't. I'm sorry. Like I'm. You. I mean, I'm the bad guy on that one. I'll take that. It's like the dick was already in her mouth. It's like fuck it, bro. You already here. Like I'll start over. But that showed me several things. But that also gave me a more solid foundation because I'm like, I can't even play like that anymore. You feel me? I can't even do that shit. I gotta nip it in the bud, which is something that I did with a different, situation, different woman. We're distant friends now. Like we'll talk every now and again on social media. She has questions about health or some shit. She'll hit me up. But you feel me? That one was that one I actually stopped. I said, no, I'm not crossing the line. I'm not doing it. And she got very upset with me. Like it made her cry. And she was like, I know I'm a good woman. I know I'm this. It made her feel like she was unwanted. I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I want to be your friend. I'm saying I want to get to know you. I'm like, how have we fallen as men so bad? How have we to where it's like when you do not like fuck on the first time, when you are actually serious about not giving it up and not fucking, like they feel like something's wrong with them. No, everything is just right with me. Had that ever registered? Like, could it be a possibility? You feel what I'm saying? So these experiences were just like, okay, let me figure something out because y'all don't just want to be my friend. Y'all don't just want to be my friend. And then they try to make it seem like it was my fault. You feel what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like, yo, you just use this woke shit, this conscious shit to get women. I said, no, I don't. It's this woke and this conscious shit that make women approach me and think that I'm just gonna be just like I'm still in that lower space. Now, granted, I'll admit, like I said, I got the hair from her. She put my dick in her mouth. Like yo, that was like, I think I had only been celibate for like a year at that point because I started in 2015. That was about like 2016. Like, bruh, we laying like, you feel me? We trying to be sleeping shit. And if her cycle wasn't on, I probably would have fucked too. But the universe aligned for that. It was just like because I tried everything to get out of that. Because I said, if she come here, I'm going to fuck her. I know what I said. I need something to stop me because it's like I live right down the street, literally like right down the street from a Rite Aid. So I couldn't say, oh, I ain't got no condoms. We just, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, the store's right there and everything like that. I even tried to say, you know what? I've been celibate. I'm clean. I have my test and everything. So I said, I will need to see your results. I knew that she didn't get her test results for like a decent amount of time. And so it was like, I think it would have been the month after she was supposed to come see me. She moved it up to get it checked. And I was like, oh man, she's not going to let this go. So when her cycle came on, I was like, yes, I'm saved. But at the same time, when she came up, I'm thinking it's going to be cool. She, what's off limits? Fuck you means off limits. Like, I'm like, I'm not on that type of time, bro. But at the same time, I'm not trying to, you feel me? I'm not trying to go there. But, ultimately I had to learn that. And I realized in that moment, I could not be honest anymore. You feel me? Because let me tell the story right. Because I know I say I was fucked up because I still got the head and then all of that. It seems like I just got the head first. No. We actually, before that even happened, when she got there, we went to go eat. And as we're sitting down, eating and everything like that, it's like I live not too far from downtown Philly. So I was like, we hopped in the Uber, went down to the to get some food, vegan restaurant shit. And we talking, we vibing and shit like that. And I'm already feeling like this ain't it. It's not it. I know it's not it. And so I decided, you know what? Maybe it's too fast, and it's my judgment is too quick. So let me walk. I got to see how this person moves. You feel me? So we're walking. Like I can feel the fear in her, not from me, Not like I bring her fear or anything like that, but the fear of being in an environment like this, an environment where your head has to be on. So I'm comfortable in a place like this. You feel me? Everything was real. She was real nervous, a real nervous person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every sound, every small thing made her jump and made her twitch. It's like, what's going on? I'm like, calm down. Like, what the fuck? I don't need that. That's paranoia. I don't need that type of energy in my life. So I'm starting to explain. I'm like, why you so, she said, it's just loud here. It's just this, that, and the third. I'm like, it's not, I mean, I get the cars passing and, it being loud, but that's not what's got you. You're on edge as if you're afraid right now. You feel what I'm saying? And I get it. Like, it was the first time meeting and shit like that. But that energy was not present when we sat down and ate. That energy was not present when we were in the same space, you know what I'm saying, alone. It wasn't until we walked together down, down the strip or whatever to back to, you know what I'm saying, to the apartment and shit. So it's like, I felt that. And as I'm trying to explain it to her, and I'm like, you know what I mean? She's trying to give me justifications as to why it is like this. And I'm like, but it is like this. Like, I can't, I don't have the capacity or the time to get over a fear that I don't have. There's a fear in you, because then now I have to work extra hard to do certain things. So I was like, I broke that down. I explained that to her. We're not in the same space. We're not in the same space of things like that, because now I'm looking at bigger pictures of, how do I know you can, it's certain maneuvering things that just, it kind of made me see that, nah, this ain't it. This ain't gonna be it. So I expressed that to her just like that. You feel me? And then as I see her eyes welling up, I say, no, don't take it the wrong way. Let's look at it like a metaphor like this. And this is when I came up with the metaphor for racing and being in a race. I'm like, let's consider we're on a track. And technically we're in the same space right now, but I've gone a lot more laps around this race than you have. It's not like, and she tells me, this is when I started like, yo, I gotta really let it go. She was like, well, then why don't you just slow down and let me catch up? Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. That showed me a lot about who she was as a person to say that. You feel me? There was not a point of, let me do what I got to do to catch up if I need to, or even just say, okay, you know what? I can accept and bow to Ray. No, you slow down for me to catch up. No, because I was in my cougar bag then. So I'm like, we're 9 years apart. You had a 9-year head start and I'm slowing down for you to catch up. No, it's not going to work. You feel me? So like I said, so then it led to, her creating the Instagram pages and sending the death threats and shit. And you feel me? Like, this shit got ugly. I said, look, yo, keep your shit straight, because I said, I got people that will handle shit for me. I said, you know what? I got sisters, bro. I got one biological sister, but I have sisters that will go to the shits that's with the shits. I said, calm that shit down. You're not about this shit. You feel me? It eventually stopped and shit. Motherfucker hated Aries and shit. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers got to stop doing that shit. You don't hate Aries. You hate the decisions that you just hate that experience. Tell the whole truth. It wasn't like I was just an asshole to you. I did some fucked up shit. I told you the truth and you didn't know how to handle rejection. You feel what I'm saying? So at what point as men do we decide, damn, they don't know how to handle rejection, so I ghost them? Like, we can feel that. We can feel some toxic energy. We can feel some energy that's not going to go right. So we have to move a certain way. You feel what I'm saying? We have to move a certain way. And but one thing we have to stop doing is making that justification. I allowed those prior women that I was, trying to be, trying to curve without curving. You feel me? No. I was honest with those women. I was like, look, this just ain't gonna work. But then it got to a point where it's just like, yo, we can't even be friends. We can't even be cool. Like, you feel me? Because I wanted the friendship to develop. You wanted more from too fast. You feel me? This shit ain't you can't rush forever. If you want to spend forever with me, you need to slow the fuck down. Stop trying to rush the shit. But how do we articulate that shit? Because then we have to deal with the fact that when we are embracing the honesty and the shit and we're expressing to them, hey, look, baby girl, this ain't what it's hitting for. You feel me? We're expressing that this ain't what it's hitting for. And it's like, oh, now you got to deal with that. So, oh, ego much? Who said I want? You right. You right. There's a lot of dynamics that we have to internalize as men, that we have to always play into position, that we can't say certain shit because it's like, okay, cool. There's that slick ass comeback. It's like, yeah, you're right. You might not want me. So how can I tell you that, okay, I don't think I want something like this with you? You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, we be wanting still sometimes, yo, that's a good ass motherfucking friend. I just can't be with her. Like on no romantic shit. You know, one of my closest homegirls right now, when we first met, it was like some talking type shit. And I let her know, nah, this ain't gonna work like that. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I remember one day she was like, yo, I'm batshit crazy. I don't want no shit like that, girl. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but that's my homie now. She's still probably batshit crazy. I don't know. But I know we're on a deeper level now. We're friends. You feel what I'm saying? But we came to terms with the fact that, oh, nah, this ain't gonna be like, we actually built the friendship and the friendship was able to maintain. You feel what I'm saying? It was able to be maintained off the other side. And that's what, gives me hope, because it's like, okay, if I don't really say nothing, and then it's just like, okay, cool, take the hints, and then let's transition to a friendship. It's like, nah, someone like, you need to tell me. And then it's like, okay, cool, I tell you, now we can't be friends no more. You don't want to be my friend no more. You feel me? You was a cool motherfucking friend. I fucked with you on some friend type shit. And now I can't be your friend no more because I don't want to cross the line with you. I'm not going to cross the line with you. You feel me? And it's always going to be on the fault of you. It's not going to be on the fault of her. You feel me? It's not going to be on the fault of the shit that she tried to want that she couldn't have. Hey, huddle up, broskies, because it's time to elevate. The secret to evolving masculinity is to define it, understand it, then apply it. The So Frail series defines masculinity as the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction. From this definition, I explain how masculinity is not just the hat that we wear, but it's the essence that we must exude through application. If you enjoy the So Frail conversations, why not read the books that inspire them? Visit IamJustSeen.com right now to add the So Frail series to your library to get a better understanding of what masculinity really is. I promise, after reading So Frail, you will never look at masculinity the same again. You dig what I'm saying? So how do we curve that? Because that's what it comes down to, being a curve, I remember the first time that shit happened to me, I was in 9th grade. And I had just got to high school, you feel me? And I had a gym class, and there was this girl there. And she was like, yo, I'm really liking him, and to put the message out and shit. And so we talking and shit. I said, nah, I'm not really into you like that. So we could be friends though. She said, if we can't be together, then we can't be nothing. All right, cool. I don't fuck with you no more. You feel me? I think about like sophomore year, maybe junior year, she was like, damn, you really don't fuck. Yo, you said if we can't be friends, we can't be nothing. I'm not about to play with you. I was a lot more not give a fuckish at that time. I wish I still had that within me. I ain't gonna hold you, yo. I wish I still had that within me, because it was real. I was able to still do it, but now I have a lot more compassion for the feelings behind that. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do you like that. I'm not gonna put you in a position like that to feel awkward. I'm just not. But at the same time, I had to realize, look, bro, fuck him. Because that's what it has to come down to. I'm learning that now. It has to come down to that. And you have to have a little bit of that in you. You feel me? And not from a disrespectful way, but from, I got to be honest with you. Brutally honest, and but it's hard to be brutally honest with a woman who cares about you. You feel me? You care too. You just don't care the way she cares. And it's hard to deal with that. So like I said, fast forward, like high school, I don't want you, girl. Get the fuck out of my face. That was hurtful, because it's like I left a trail of fucked up shit. Like, you feel me? It's like, yo, bro, you didn't have to respond to it like that. So how do I respond? Because at least now she knows. But then it's like before, it's like, nah, I'm not. I want to be your friend. Oh, nah, because then that's how lines get blurred and all. I don't know how lines get blurred off that. I do want to be your friend. I just don't want to fuck you. I just don't want to fuck with you like that. You feel what I'm saying? As men, we're not like, we can't do the gentleman's curve. You feel me? The gentleman's curve gets real fucking ugly. You know what I'm saying? It gets real fucking ugly because it's like, which way you gotta go? Which way are you gonna go? You feel what I'm saying? Which way are you gonna go? And it gets even crazier when you have boundaries. That was another thing that those situations taught me. It taught me to set up boundaries. And some people will assume that, like, I don't know why, but motherfuckers think like as men, we're not supposed to have boundaries. Like, we don't have them. Like, boundaries are just non-existent for us and shit. You feel me? Men, we like, we get like to have value, to be like, yo, my dick is special, to have certain things like that. It's like, yo, who the fuck are you to say that? You're a man. You're supposed to be able to bend to my beck and call. No, I don't know who you've been fucking with, but that's not the way this goes. So you feel me? When those moments come in, when those moments come into reality, it's like, which way do I move? Which way do I move? Because now I got to deal with the aftermath. Like, women say slick, stupid, disrespectful shit if you're honest with them, as they want you to be, right? So then it's like, okay, cool. I avoided this situation for the very reason. Well, if you would have been honest from the jump, it would not have gone like this. Yes, it would have. This is you. This is your response. I was honest. You feel me? You kept breaking your shots. You kept like, I kept trying to like, yo, stick to this topic. Let's be cool. Like, I don't even interact with you on a regular basis like that. Let's stick to that. Then it's like, okay, cool. I need to know, like, I don't know how you got confused on where we stand. You created this reality in your mind, not me. You feel me? I've involved myself with women. I have connected with women who, quote unquote, I'm not going to, like, they may disagree. This is just for the conversation that I'm using. They have really fallen for me long before we ever even became acquainted with one another. That was an unfair advantage on my part. Well, that was an unfair disadvantage on my part. Because now it's like, I have been, watching you for this amount of time. I've been knowing you. You're not even on my radar. I don't know shit about you. You feel me? Like I said, it doesn't help that I'm so transparent on social media. It doesn't help that I'm so transparent in my normal, life, because like I always say, I ain't worried about shit. I ain't worried about keeping no secrets and keeping shit a secret and shit like that. So I'm like, I can be that, but you don't know everything about me. You know what I choose to give you. It's not my fault that you have made what I've chosen to give you an encompassing thing and fallen for it. I don't know shit about you. That's a head start that I don't have. You have a head start on me that I don't have. So you want me to like you how you like me, and I don't know shit about you. That's not fair on my part. That's not fair on my part. You feel me? And these are some of these situations that have happened. One of my big sisters, man, she was like, she hit me up randomly in the DM, and she was like, bro, protect yourself. She said, you're going to be going into a different space that you really need to start guarding yourself a lot better. She said, you're already open enough. She was like, don't give them that. You feel me? Don't give them that, And I was on it because I had experienced this shit. A lot of these women, just because of the way that I posted on social media, because, oh, you're intelligent, you're articulate, you do this, didn't like that. I can't help that you came on to me. You still have to give me that back. You still have to give me that back. I can't just, accept that, oh, you've been fucking with me for a long time, so you fuckwittable. No. But at the same time, I understand where that can come from, because in my younger days, that's all it took, Lloyd Banks got a track and shit in the song. He was like, he said, I never got the girls I wanted, just the ones that wanted me. There's a pocket in our lives as men, as brothers. There's a pocket in our lives where we only got the women that wanted us. So we fed off that shit. You feel me? We fed off that shit. And, how did that develop though? Because then you have to realize that there are women who were a part of that, who they were, liking a certain man. They would flirt, they would do the jokes, and they would all that shit with that man. And it would evolve. And, but I had to when I used to be in that space when I was young, but then it got to the point where it's like, I don't want that anymore. I got to be able to like you back. I got to be able to want you how you want me. You feel what I'm saying? It was ego boosting in the younger ages. Like my ego don't need to be boosted. It don't need to be stroked and shit like that. My shit it's straight. Like I'm good. You dig what I'm saying? But as men, when we crossed that line and then we gotten so used to being involved with women who wanted us rather than the women that we actually had to put in work for, you dig what I'm saying? It can create an air of, all right, make me like you back. Now it's like that because it's like pussy ain't enough. You dig what I'm saying? Pussy ain't enough. Like the younger years of me, the younger years of my life, I was able to be in situations where I was, fucking women after 3 days and meeting them and shit like that because I had put in work in that time frame to make them feel like they can fuck me and give me some ass and shit. But that's all that I needed. I remember, you know what I'm saying, when I was in undergrad, the girlfriend that I was with was undergrad. We, last for my real only requirement for her was that she fucked me good. I ain't know really shit about, this advanced shit about relationships that I had to learn over the years after being fucked over in that one. You feel what I'm saying? But I was like, yo, you good. I didn't give a like her attitude was horrible, all these things. I just tolerated it because I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. Fucking the pussy good, the head good. I can she can keep up with me sexually and shit. You dig what I'm saying? That's all that was on my mind. Literally, all that was on my motherfucking mind. So I was like, all right, bro, how am I rock this shit? But now that I'm older and shit, pussy don't practicing celibacy taught me that pussy ain't enough. And I realized how empty a lot of the women that I was attracted to in my younger years were. You dig what I'm saying? This is a slight tangent a little bit, but it's still on theme with what's going on. So it's like now I'm like, oh shit, there has to be substance. There has to be more substance. So it's like in that I want to see the substance. So I'm like, yo, let me try to be your friend. I've already done the work. I've already done all of the work necessary. And then it's like I said, when I'm interacting with some of these women, it's like when they tell me about the exes that they passed, I'm like, oh shit, you're really gonna fall fast. You've already fell. I'm already out of a position that's out of the league of the dudes that you're dealing with. Call me arrogant, call me cocky, whatever the case may be. It's proven. It's proven. When I look at some of the women of the past that I've spoken to, when they tell me about the exes, I make them look like shit. Effortlessly. I'm like, oh yeah, cause yeah. You feel me? We different. But it's like, you gotta make me like you back. What's gonna make you stand out? And I always see over time, it never fails. It's like it starts off as here's the good conversation, here's this, that, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And then it's like sex comes up again because it's like the end is reached. The end is reached. And I realized that was something that was on me. The gentleman's curve is like, okay, let me see, can I be your friend? The friendship has to develop into substance. You dig what I'm saying? And there's no substance that develops. But it's like, we don't curve it. We don't curve it off rip because it's like, I want to be your friend first and then go down the levels. Oh no, you could have told me that you was, I didn't waste your time. Like you act like my time ain't in that shit too. You feel me? My timing, I could rush. I can meet them at their pace and keep going how they going and shit and continue with that shit. But why would I? Why should I? Knowing that that's not what I want. You feel me? Quick tangent. There's a woman. It's one woman right now that I got a mean eye for, and I actually have to work. It's so fucking hard right now. It's so fucking hard right now because I have to actually engage. Haven't had that shit in so long. Haven't had that shit in so long. But it invigorates me. You dig what I'm saying? It's invigorating me because it's like, yo, she's going to make me like, she's going to make me like her. Like I'm already interested, but she's going to make me like her. And I have to actually put in work. Yo, this is different. It's just different. So it's like, I'm going to actually be able to create the friendship fully because I'm like, oh, this is what's up, and it's not a point of the other shit that I'm used to. You feel me? And like I said, for the same reasons that women feel as if they, have to respond a certain way to men because men gonna act up. We got to deal with that shit too. The gentleman's curve is the most polite way that we have reached a point, and is you ghosted me, you just ignored me, you just left me hanging, you just this that, and the third. Sometimes it's the only way that we can respond to you. You feel me? Some of my brothers have reached a point like, that's the only way I could talk to this woman. Yo, yo, bro, like, bro, the fuck, I don't know what to do with her. Like, she keeps snapping. I know she gonna snap. You feel me? I know she gonna snap. I was talking to a woman trying to be friends. I had automatically, not only was it a friendship, I felt like it was initiated on some business type shit. You feel me? That's how the shit was initiated, on some business type shit. I don't mix business and pleasure. I just don't. Now, after the business transaction is taking place and we're off the books for that shit, that's different. But in the process, I don't mix them. She did. Cool. I didn't know. And I take my responsibility on that. She didn't know that I don't mix business and pleasure. I told her, I was like, no, I'm not mixing business and pleasure. I just can't. I don't do it. It's not good for me. And then I told the situations of the women in my past who I tried to mix business and pleasure with, and it didn't work. Our disconnect in that was that she was assuming I was associated to pain and heartbreak. No, I'm associated to wasted time and disappointment in the business aspect not coming to fruition. Total disconnect in the conversation. Never knew it. I'm thinking we're talking about the same shit, but we're not talking about the same shit. You feel me? So it eventually got to the point where we had a conversation. We actually had, we're able to discuss and everything. And I realized, okay, cool. We're not going to be able to go forward with the business project because I don't mix business and pleasure, and I won't. She said, well, I do. And that's what has to happen. I said, all right, cool. We'll just, leave it at that. I felt like we ended on a mutual respect thing. But then it was like, I seen what was the underlying things. I was dumb for making a decision in her eyes. I was like, why I got to be dumb? Why I got to be a dummy? Why I got to be stupid? You feel me? Why does it have to come out that I'm making a mistake right now? Because I'm honoring a boundary that I set up. You feel what I'm saying? So when we still had this, like, it's hard for us to actually be in this position where we can actually be honest with women. A lot of times. It's like, no, you can be honest. It's just how you say it. How do you tell the truth? How do you tell somebody how to tell the truth? Really think about that shit. I have to tell the truth the way I feel I need to tell the truth. You feel me? Simple as that. So it now expounds upon this reality. Why the gentleman's curve is really not, it's a subtle movement to say, you know what? Let's not do this right now. I don't really want this. You feel me? We got to do it in a way that's very strategic. And sometimes that's ghosting. You feel me? That's ghosting. Ghosting is the safest way to do that. You feel me? You're not cussing me out. You're not calling me stupid. You just, you wasted my time. What do you think my time was? What do you think was done to my time? You feel me? What do you think was done to my time? That is some of the most selfish shit that I always hear. Oh, dudes, like, we get our time wasted too. You feel me? I'm 30 at this point. I'll be 31 in 3 months. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in the position in my life where I want stability. I'm done with the other shit. I put in the work for myself spiritually, mentally, my financial stability. Like, I want to chill now. I want babies. I'm not playing. I don't want to play. But at the same time, I'm realizing that it's because I want that shit, it can cause me not to do what I need to do properly. You feel what I'm saying? So, and being, expressive of wanting this shit, being, having this expression, shown that, this is what I want. This is what I want to go for in life. This is what I'm actually and actively looking for. And being, as I said, being transparent about that, it makes that gravitate towards me. The people who want that, but don't have the capacity to be with that or deal with that. necessarily. You see what I'm saying? So it's like at the same time, because I want, it's like I still have to go through the ways I build a relationship the same way every time. The same way every time. I start with friendship. Make me be your friend. I don't want the best behavior you. I don't want the version of you that's trying to show me that you're a good person. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I need to see who my friend is. I need to see who the fuck my friend is. I don't give a fuck about your good behavior. I don't give a fuck about you being friendly. I need to see my friend. In order for me to do that, I have to stick around. And you know what I mean? I can't be rushed. Just like I don't want to rush you. But at the same time, is it how do I maneuver that shit? So it's like we ghost each other. It's not even sometimes that we ghost each other. It's that we reach the point of understanding where what it truly boils down to is, hey, look, check this out. Okay, I see how you stand with me, but I still have to get to that point with you. I still look to get to that point. I want to get to that point with you, but I can't get to that point with you right now because I know that you're not serious about really getting to that point because you don't really want the full gamut of the relationship. You want the romantic shit. That's it. You don't want the friendship. You don't want the platonic shit that has to build up to that shit. So you could be my motherfucking right hand. You could be my ace. You feel what I'm saying? I was just looking at this motherfucking post where the sister was like, you know what? When her friend tries to come out of, he's like, no, best friend vibes only, some shit like that. And it's like, yo, but you'll be the same motherfucker who would say, I just want to marry my best friend. How? How the fuck do you marry your best friend if you can't get to them being your best friend? You feel what I'm saying? They have to be your friend before they can be your best friend. You feel what I'm saying? You have to develop shit. It's levels to the shit. You dig what I'm saying? It's whole levels to this shit. But like nobody wants to go through those levels. Nobody wants to take the time to build the necessary, the necessary moments to be that. You feel what I'm saying? And how do you curve that? How do you curve that? And that's a part of the quandary of what I'm calling a gentleman's curve, because it's like, I want that. But I know that it takes time to get that. So I want to take my time and build it slow with this person. But I don't have time with that. And I know that they want something that I don't want, off one side of that. Then two, I don't really want them. But I don't know that I don't want them yet. You feel me? At this particular moment, I'm not looking for the relationship. I'm not looking for that part yet. What I am looking for is the friendship. You feel what I'm saying? What I am looking for is for the friendship. So of course it gets to ghosting because it's like the conversation, the communication changes because you want me to be in the same space that you are, and I'm not there yet. Because you have not helped me get there yet. I can't help that you're already there. You feel me? This is the side of the shit that some of us men have to deal with. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, he got this going for him, this going for him. He this, that, and the third. I want this man. Okay, cool. You got to make me want you back. I'm not chasing him. I ain't no pick me. I ain't doing this and the third. Okay, cool. I'll let you display whatever you display within the time and see if I can develop a friendship with that. And then over time, the ghost happens because it's like, I'm not chasing you. I'm not doing this. Okay, cool. You also are not making me like you. You are not making me enjoy you. And now shit like this is making me not want to fuck with you more. So then what? Whose fault is that? Who's the villain in this situation? Of course it's gonna be the man. Of course it's gonna be us. We're the fucking bad guys in the situation because you need to communicate better. How the fuck do we communicate better? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to fuck it up. Because you very well, if we actually develop the friendship, you might be cool. But I'm learning, just like a lot of some dudes do. There are women who they want to lock it down before you actually get to see who they really are. You feel me? It's like fall in love with me and fall for me right now. And no, fuck that. I want to see how you are as my friend. Fuck that. I want to see how you are as my friend. Do I fuck with you on some friend type shit? Do you have motives and actions that I don't even fuck with as a friend? Like I wouldn't even let my friends do that shit. I would never know that because you're so busy trying to be friendly. Because and I can't curve that because I'm trying to get to the, let me see what's up. You feel me? And then you show more and more and more that you ain't somebody that I shouldn't be fucking with. So the ghost happens. You feel me? The gentleman's curve is hard to do because it's like, you know what? We're not getting past this friendship part. We're not actually friends. You're friendly as fuck. You hype me up. You say you support me and you do this and the third. Like one of my best friends, she showed me a whole different level of support that really set the standard for what support is. This is why I always say flattery is of the devil. I don't give a fuck how you flatter me and tell me, oh, motivate. You can't motivate me. You can't inspire me because I do all those things by myself. I don't need a cheerleader. You feel what I'm saying? But this is because one of my best friends set this standard of what support is. Because I have been running into women, oh, I'm gonna support everything you do. I support you and this, that, and the third. It's just like, but all they were doing was cheering me on. Keep going, keep pushing, keep pushing. One of my friends knew that I was involved with something. And she stumbled across it and said, I thought of you with this. I think this could help you. I think that was support. That changed my whole gamut of like, and then I realized like all this time motherfuckers just be hyping me up and think like, I'm like, okay, cool. This is not sports. I don't need to be hyped up to go play this game. That's not support. And you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of that shit comes within the masquerade. So, you're trying to get to the core of this person. You're trying to, but you just can't. So it's just like, yo, fuck it. Distance myself. Leave it alone. I don't want it anymore. You feel me? But you're the bad guy for that. You're the bad guy for that. Every time. You feel me? It's like you can't really be honest. And then still maintain that shit. Like, cause now I'm a fuckboy now. All of the honesty and shit. Be honest with us. All the honesty. Okay, cool. So like, fuck it. The only way you can do this shit is if you actually be a motherfucking fuckboy. You dig what I'm saying? That's what they not saying. Like they talk about the fuckboy shit being so bad, but sometimes you just got to. You just got to because you trying to, well, my worth is this, my self-worth is that. This is why I always talk about the difference between self-love and self-lust. Because soon as you start saying that shit, they start trying to overhype themselves to make it seem like you're making a bad decision. How? You don't fit into my life. You could be my friend. We can figure this out later down the line, but not at this particular moment. Oh, well, shit, if not you, then somebody else. Cool, go ahead. It. Y'all can't say that. Now, this is solely for my women. Y'all can't say shit like that to us and think we not just going to disappear. You feel what I'm saying? You flex and brag about the options you have. Bye. We got them too. Not only do we have options, but we have choices as well. So you can miss me with that bullshit when you bragging about, oh, well, what you don't do, another man will, or I'm trying to get serious about this. I'm trying to have a fucking friend first that I can become romantic with, that I can then become intimate with. You just want to go ahead and skip all of that shit and not be my motherfucking friend and saying there's some men, yes, some men will do that shit. And guess what? Y'all gonna keep going back into that motherfucking cycle. You feel what I'm saying? And my brothers, man, we gotta be willing and we gotta be able to fully and be in the capacity to say, you know what? I can't fuck with that. You feel me? I can't fuck with that. And we got to start being honest. Like that was the whole gamut of all of this shit. I want to bring it full circle. A lot of these experiences and a lot of this conversation was about why one of the hardest reasons is to be honest with the shit is because we can't. We can't. Ghosting is the easiest way out. And ghosting is the fucked up way out. But it's like considering the other side of all of the shit that we gotta deal with and go through is like, that's not fair. That's not fair. And it's like, okay, cool. We gotten so used to being, men that, that when you when you a high value man and shit, you gotta be in a certain cloth. And I want a high value. Okay, cool. You want it. Now make a high value man want you back. Now, granted, dude can be coming off a different way. He can be coming off and, saying a different thing. But I feel like too, even still, as my brothers, we need to understand that capacity and learn how to be honest, a lot more. At this point, I'm going to say it like this. At this point, fuck they feelings, y'all. And here's why I'm saying it like that. Track record after track record after track record, I realized that I've gotten the same response when I considered their feelings and when I didn't. So at this point, it's just like, yo, fuck it. If I'm not interested, I just got to tell you. You feel me? My biggest problem is that I genuinely enjoy friendship with women. Like, I like platonic friendship with women. It's fucking dope. Like, you feel me? Steel sharpens steel. So me and my brothers and shit, we just keep each other sharp. But women help me grow. Women help give me that other side. I like that shit. I like having friendships with women, like literal friendships. That shit's hard. That shit's hard because it's like, how do you have that friendship? You feel me? I'm focusing on actually having a friendship. Now I didn't curve you. I'm not gonna tell you that because I didn't think you was fucking with me like that. I get that you flirting, you joking and shit, and you playing and all of that shit, but okay, cool. That's a part of the banter that comes down the line. So it's possible, but let me be your friend first. Oh no, I like you this way. You gotta like me back quick. All right, cool. Well, I still want to be your friend, but I can't be your friend now because you don't want to be your friend. You just want to be intimate and romantic with a motherfucker, then become friends later. That's completely out of the fucking level of the way the game's supposed to go. You dig what I'm saying? But a lot of people aren't looking at it like that. A lot of people can't see it like that. You feel what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'm looking at it like this. My brothers, when it comes to this, to actually letting women down and tell them, fuck it, just do it. Nike, my guy. If you're not interested, say that. If you're not interested in that space, if you want, look, I want to be your friend and all of that shit. If she ain't having it, fuck it, let her go, bro. Let her go. Like that's all I can say about that shit no more. It's no more optimism in the shit. It's just being real. I gotta be a realist and gotta be realistic with the shit. If you know that this ain't what you want, just tell her. If you wanted to have a friendship with her and see whatever, and you can't get that shit out of it, fuck it. Let it go. Because she won't gonna be your friend anyway. If you know what I'm saying, like that's not what she wanted. So this is just the way it has to go. And you know what I'm saying? Learn to be honest. Learn to be honest. I'm literally taking my own advice and learning to be honest with that shit. I don't like, because now I got to deal with that shit now. Because like I said, the honesty is gonna make them blow up either way. You feel me? Whether it's the honesty up front or it's the delayed honesty through the conversation. You feel what I'm saying? In their eyes, you making a mistake because you don't want them. You feel me? And it ain't even that you don't want them. You feel me? You just don't like them how they like you. And you have not been given the opportunity to do so. So they feel like if you don't like me right now, and it's that like, oh, and I'm 30. Like I said, I'm 30. So I have to deal with that challenge. I already don't like younger women. Ain't nothing wrong with them, but you feel me? Then my age, I got to deal with, the biological clocks and them feeling like they got to rush and shit. Shit is different. I still have to be in a position where I want to build a friendship slowly. That shit get crazy. And then they send the threats. Well, just let you know what, somebody's gonna love it. Somebody gonna love it. Cool. Don't send me threats like that shit because I got choices too. The fuck? And they're better than options. Way better than options. You know why? Because I have my hand in that shit. But you dig what I'm saying? This is all a part of the reality. This is a part of the full game. This is a part of why, as men, it's hard for us to curve. And it's easy for us to ghost. It's easier for us just to walk away and say, you know what? Let her have it, bro. Let her do her thing. Let her do whatever she's going to do. And she can make the choice. Because it's like, if you already bitching, if you're already talking about how I can't give you this, and I'm trying to build a friendship, but you talking about some other shit, you feel me? It's easier for you to walk away. Now I don't got to worry about the situation. Because you're telling me about what I can't give you. You're telling me about what I can't give you, and you barely speaking on what the fuck you've earned out of me. You dig what I'm saying? That shit we got to deal with. That shit, that's the shit we got to deal with on our sides too. You feel what I'm saying? You haven't earned anything out of me yet, but yet you're going to tell me that I need to be giving more. What am I going to give? And don't forget to take a moment to go get your exclusive merchandise from Just Scenes merch. At Just Scenes, each piece is specifically crafted with positive imagery and symbolism. From the titles and designs to the descriptions, each style gives you something to feel great about. With everything from hoodies and tees to coffee mugs and tote bags, we have something for the entire family. So be sure to get yours today. Find us on Instagram at Just Scenes merch and get your merchandise right now. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there, man. Cause the stock's about to start popping and forex and shit about to kick off. I need to get some money. Um, yeah, man. That's the gentleman's curve. I didn't write anything down with that one because I know it's gonna seem all over the place, and it probably is. But I feel like the gems are gonna come out when they need to. But my brothers, you feel me? The gentleman's curve has to be. You have to be honest with the situation. You feel me? You have to be thorough with the situation. You know, when I look at a lot of these situations for these women, I feel like the ones that I gave is like I didn't curve. They came on to me. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That's the part of the story when they tell their friends of how I, waste their time and how this, that, and the third. They came on to me. They don't never want to tell that part. You feel me? When you show your interest in something, you have to make that interest back. Like, I don't see, and I don't like, women decided, collectively somewhere, okay, yeah, I'm gonna shoot my shot. But you gotta understand, if we're gonna talk about, well, men are the one who pursue and do all that shit, you gotta start doing what we do then if that's the game you're gonna play. We literally, as men, have to make you like us back. Why the fuck don't y'all have to do the shit? You feel me? I'm still waiting on you to make me feel like you feel. That's one of the aspects of the shit. You feel me? I'll wear that. I'll wear my side of the shit of how, oh, you curved her and you didn't do all of this shit like that. No, she didn't put in the work that she said she was going to do. She shot her shot at me. She came on to me. The fuck? Any woman that I put my attention into, that I shot my shot at, I went the distance to give them the, what I'm saying? Look, I want you to see me. I want you to see why I'm here. I want you to see me put in this work. I want you to see. I don't know what the fuck y'all thought this was. You feel me? So that's another part of this gentleman's curve shit, bro. They're not going to put in the pro, like, they're going to shoot the shot to make you do the work. You did not even show the initial interest. Think about that shit. You didn't show the initial interest, and now you're the bad guy because you have to actually work for something that you didn't even want. And I don't mean like, and see, this is why it's hard to talk about this conversation, because like, oh, you saying you didn't want these women? No, that's not what I'm saying. I didn't show the initial interest in you. You dig what I'm saying? Therefore, it was not on me to continue to keep putting up. Yeah, moment of silence. Like that shit has to be addressed. Because if that's because they say when men pursue and he really wants something, he's gonna go get it. Yeah, you can't, throw out the bait and you can't throw out the bait and think that he came onto you. That's different. You feel me? And then it's like, you got it. And it's like, okay, cool. Now what? You gotta keep me up. Because we know what we gotta do. You feel me? And it's like, well, why don't you just tell her you're not interested? Because she could very well be a good friend. That's what I'm trying to see. If she's coming on to me like that, I have to develop the friendship. Because why? I have to think about it from my perspective as a man. I know that when I'm pursuing women, the first thing I'm doing is solidifying a friendship first. From there, I go romantically. From there, I go intimately. It ain't my fault a motherfucker don't think like that. But that's how I operate. So when the table, like, yo, okay, cool. Let's be friends. Let's see how we can do. Oh, you playing, you this, that, and the third. You're not trying to know. I'm trying to see if you can be a fucking friend. Before I need to know if I can have romance with you. Before I even know if I can have intimacy with you. Are you even my friend? Like, I mean, a real fucking friend. Like, not no friendly motherfucker who hypes me up and makes me feel good. No, a friend who actually loves me and corrects my bullshit. Not just gives me justification for my bullshit or changes your thoughts because, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a friend. You become a tag along and shit. And that shit gets fucking annoying. You feel what I'm saying? That shit gets annoying. But I'm going to end it with that. My brothers, if y'all made it to the end of this, you feel me? Be honest. Be honest. If you're not interested, say that. From the jump. Don't even no longer get into it. I just want to be her friend. No, fuck that. We can probably be friends. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Let it go. You can't. You can't. Fuck it. Just fuck it. You'll always be the bad guy. feel me? Start curving them from the jump if you're not really interested. As soon as they, nope, nope, it's not happening. You feel me? Because you don't even know a right way to say the shit. You feel me? Had a woman shoot, and she came into my DMs like, so when we gonna link? Never. Damn, you didn't have to say it like that. How the fuck was I gonna say it then? Because then when I do the haha, you funny, you joking. Oh, see, you playing. You want to keep it going. No. When do we link? Never. When am I going to? Never. Can we exchange numbers? No. Damn, why are you so cold? Why are you so rude? Who hurt you? Ain't nobody hurt me. This is not about pain. See, when I try to tell you this shit, when I try to tell you from the real, let somebody love your mean ass. Let's like see the shit that y'all do in regards to that. When you get the honest truth, nah. So it's like, okay, cool. I gotta downplay it as best as I can, and you completely missed the downplay. So my brothers, at this point, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Fuck it. Tell them the truth. Fuck it. Stop playing with them. Stop playing with them. The gentleman's curve's got to be 100% honest, bro. Now, I'm not saying do no stupid shit like go out and be like, nah, leave me alone, you old buckethead ass bitch. No, I ain't saying do no shit like that. Let your nose be nose and your yeses be yes. Simple. They want to exchange? No. Just be that. Fuck it. You feel me? Just fuck it, bro. Dead ass serious, yo. Just fuck it. This shit's annoying now. You feel me? Because you can't even be a gentleman and curve somebody. It's like, oh, you played with me. You played with this and third. No, I didn't. I couldn't tell you shit. Because every time I tried, you gave some kind of, all right, so cool. All right. And she just got to catch the hint. Because me telling her is too harsh for her. Damn, you so mean. You so mean. I'm not mean. I'm honest. You just don't like the truth. The fuck? So since you don't like the truth, catch the hints. Oh, you not. You need to be an adult. You need to be this, that, and the third. I tried. You deflected the truth that was right there in front of you. So now you got to take the hint because you couldn't take the actual answer. The fuck? But that's the gentleman's curve, bro. That's a gentleman's curve, bro. I got shit to do. So, go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And my brothers, if we learn how to teach our sons early, how to maneuver differently, how to actually curve, what I'm saying, the right way, and say when they're not interested in the shit. And, a lot of this stems from our connection to not wanting to miss out on no pussy. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That's why a lot of the times we don't do the shit, because this could potentially be some pussy. You feel what I'm saying? Now, granted, in my defense, as I developed and became older, it's like, yo, this very well could be my friend. You feel what I'm saying? It originally started off as pussy, but I've developed friendships with women over the years. It's like, yo, we didn't fuck. And it's like, yo, you was really a good homie. You became my good friend. And that's when the transition happened for me. So I apply that to life now. But a lot of us is like, you know what? And this ain't got shit to do with gentlemen, but I'm saying how this, it's like, yo, you know what? I should keep around because I might be able to fuck. Late night shit get hard. I could probably fuck. You feel me? So I keep around. No, let's not do that shit. Let's not even create this standard and this narrative anymore for our boys, because this is what it develops into. Because now when our boys become men, and our frontal lobe is developed and shit, and things like that have truly transpired correctly, now we don't know how to respond. We don't know how to say no because we don't want to miss out on something. Some of us are 30, 40, 50 years old, still on some shit. Well, damn, bro, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep her around. I don't even want her like that, but I'm going to keep her around. I don't know what for. Say no. Let it go. Like, I'm not interested. I'm not even trying to get in that role. I'll admit my fault. in that. Like I said, I held on to it for so long because I thought maybe, I could be a friend with this person. Maybe we can, nah, fuck it. That's it. If I don't see the shit no more, bro, fuck it. I'm telling you from the jump. This shit about to be nasty and it's about to be ugly. I don't give a fuck no more because I tried to do it both ways. The only way that seems like, and in both ways, that same outcome is the same way. So fuck it, just be honest. Now it's gonna be seen. You so mean. You such Aries. I can't like. I try to give you the Venus and Pisces. I try to give you the soft side. I try to give you all that shit, and it still got me the same. So fuck that. I'd rather be the Aries and shit and be able to deal with how Aries deal with the shit. You feel me? So teach our boys the same shit. Teach our boys to stop playing this game for the sake of keeping them around or having it, you know what I'm saying, in the connecting space. You dig what I'm saying? Stop it. But Like I said, go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.